In this video, I am giving you some ways you can be more of a dangerous attacking threat in your football matches. This video is sponsored by Rocket Sports, where you can get 15% off of their line of soccer products by clicking on the link down below. Rocket Sports sells a variety of soccer goals of all sizes and for all ages, along with other training equipment like rebounders to help you improve your game. They are not only great for team training, but for your own individual training as well. I personally use their products during my own training sessions, and I love them. Click on the link down below to check them out for yourself. Let's get into the video. What's up guys, Dave here from SimplySoccer, where we release daily soccer tip, technique, and training videos like this. So make sure you hit that subscribe button if you have not already, and make sure you turn on notifications as well. Now in this video, like I said, I want to give you some of the things I recommend you work on and you take a look at if you want to start becoming more of a threat in your matches and actually have more of a positive impact in the attacking third in your matches. So the first thing I want to give you is something you can do immediately in the short term, and it's something you will be doing in the long term as well, but there's a reason I'm telling you it's for the short term, and it's to really in matches focus on your strengths and not your weaknesses. And the reason I say that is because you don't want to go into a game being a player that you're not, or trying things that you are not good at and you are not trained in. I mean, you didn't see players like Paul Scholes trying to beat multiple opponents. No, you saw him dictating the play, creating really good passes, shooting from distance, because that was his game. You didn't see him trying to beat people like Lionel Messi did, because that was not what he was strong at. He knew his strengths and he knew how he was going to make the most immediate impact in matches. So look at your game and try and figure out, determine what you can do to have the most impact in your matches. Maybe you're really good one-on-one against players, so make sure you're isolating yourself one-on-one very often. Maybe you're really good at shooting and goal scoring, so make sure you're getting into those positions often. Now, again, it's going to be different for each of you, but identify what it is that are your strengths so that you can play more to them in your matches in the immediate future. However, it is important that we do work on our weaknesses. The only reason I say focus on your strengths in the immediate future is because if you have a game coming up soon, it's not enough time to make a weakness a strength. But in the long term, you definitely want to work on your weaknesses, especially if you're weak at something you need for your position. So over the long term, identify the areas you need to be good at in order to thrive in your position. Whether you're a winger, striker, attacking midfielder, whatever you are, go over what areas you will need to be not just a good player, but a standout player in that position. And if one of those areas is a weakness to you, you need to start working on that area, because it's no good, for example, being a winger and being terrible at crossing, because that's one of the main things a winger is going to be asked. It's no good being a striker and not being able to score a goal to save your life, because that's one of the main things a striker is asked to do. So things like this, identify those areas, identify your weaknesses in those areas, and make plans over the long term to work on those skill areas. Okay, so that's kind of what you can do immediately to start being more of an attacking threat in your matches. Let's go over some of the skill areas and other things I recommend you work on for all attacking positions. This is kind of in general that will help you to be more dangerous in your games. So the first one is, I really do believe every attacking position should have skill moves in your repertoire. And what I recommend is mastering 3 skill moves that are effective to your position. So this is going to be different per position. Now, I don't want you choosing fancy moves. I want you to choose 3 moves that are going to be super effective every time you use them. I think most players think when I say pick 3 moves, it's like, oh, I've only got 3 to pick, so I've got to pick the best, fanciest, most show-offy moves. No, pick 3 simple ones. If you pick the cut, the chop, and the body feint, then you have the right idea here. I mean, if you look at a professional match, take a look at the moves they're using most of the time. A lot of the time, it's just quick changes in direction. It's quick cuts and chops and body feints and Cruyffs and things of this nature. So pick 3 moves out of like all the simple moves you can think of that work for your position and really focus on mastering those moves. Because the fact of the matter is, I would much rather, and it's much better, to master 3 moves that are going to be effective for you in matches than to be adequate or just good at 5 or more. I mean, if you're just good at the chop, a good defender is going to stop you. If you're just good at maybe the Maradona, a good defender is going to read it and stop you. But if you're masterful at the body feint, you're masterful at the step over, you can cut and chop all day long and beat defenders, well, that's actually something that's going to be useful to you in your games and is going to allow you to be more of a threat. Next thing I really think you should look at if you want to be more of an attacking threat in your matches is your speed of play. You need to have the ability to play quickly. There's nothing more frustrating than going on a counterattack, playing it to one of your teammates, and them slowing it down unnecessarily, and the other team being able to get back, catch up, and essentially defend the situation. You want to be able to hurt the opposition quickly when the opportunity presents itself. If you play too slowly, that can be the difference between a perfect through ball that puts your teammate in and your pass getting blocked. It can be the difference between you shooting the ball and it going into the corner and the defender closing you down and stealing the ball. Fractions of a second matter in this game, so the more quickly you can do things, the better. Now, that doesn't mean every single play in the game will require you to move as fast as you can. Sometimes you'll need to slow the play down. Sometimes you'll need to protect the ball while your teammates catch up. But you need to be able to turn on at any moment and play really quickly so that the opportunity isn't lost. Again, the goal scoring opportunity, the opportunity to take someone one-on-one before reinforcements arrive, and so on. And the way to improve your speed of play is simply by practicing the way you want to play. You know, if you're going into your practices lazy, lackadaisically, giving anything less than 100% of your full concentration and focus, you're going to take those habits into your matches. So in your training, always be trying to play quicker and faster. Again, when the situation calls for it. For example, if the ball's coming to you and you're playing 2-touch, try and take those 2 touches as cleanly and crisply as quickly as you can, and always be challenging yourself to play faster. So always be looking to improve your speed of play. And then the other part of that is you need to be smart about it, and you need to be decisive when you are playing quickly. You know, if you dally or delay, you are just, you know, caught up in which decision to make in your head in matches. It will affect you. It will affect your speed of play, and you'll most likely miss your opportunity to do the damage that you were trying to do to the opponents. Okay, so final idea I'm going to leave you with, and guys, just realize there is so much more we could go over on this topic, but I don't want this to be a 30-minute video. But the last one we are going to cover here is take risks. You have to take risks if you want to be an attacking threat. The fact of the matter is, if you play safe, you're never going to actually have a positive impact on the match, at least in an attacking position. Now, there are positions, obviously, that need to play safe. I'm looking at you, defenders, center defensive mids as well. For the most part, will play safe. They'll retain possession. That's their job. But your job as an attacker, for the most part, is to be dangerous, is to make things happen, is to create chances, is to score chances, is to assist teammates, and things of this nature. And if you're not doing those things, if you're not taking that man one-on-one because you're afraid of losing the ball, or you're not taking that shot because you're afraid of missing, you can never be a dangerous player. Now, on the flip side, I'm not saying be stupid and take risks every single time, or just kind of run straight into 4 defenders. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is take calculated risks. You know, the more you play, the more you start to recognize situations where it's perfect for you to take that risk, to try and dribble that opponent, to try and exploit that space, to try and put that ball into the net by shooting, to try and try that maybe a little bit risky through ball with the outside of your foot to your teammate. You start to learn, how to take calculated risks. But as an attacking player, you need to be taking them, because you're just not going to have any impact in your matches if you don't take the risks. And of course, with risks do come consequences. You will make mistakes from time to time, but take note of what professional, especially top professional players do when they make mistakes in game. They bounce back. Seriously, take a look at the top pros next time you're watching a match and see what they do when they miss a chance. See what they do when someone pokes the ball away from them for a throw, and see what they do when they don't play the best of passes. Do they, get upset for the rest best of the game and let it affect them, you know, maybe for a second or two, but really they bounce back and they continue to do their best to have a positive influence on the match. So that's what you need to kind of get your head around is don't be afraid to take the risks. And if the risk does not pay off, be able to forgive yourself, bounce back, and keep moving forward and playing to the best of your ability. All right, so those are some of the ways that are going to help you become more of a dangerous attacking threat in your matches. I've given you some things you can do immediately and some things to work on in order to be more dangerous in your matches. Of course, like I said, there's so much more we can go over. I mean, we could go over stuff per position. We could go over a lot of these things I went over in way more depth, but I don't want this video to be too long. So work on these areas if you want to be more of an attacking threat in your matches and have more of that positive impact I know you want to have in your games. I appreciate you so much for watching this video. Please hit that like and share button if you enjoyed it so we can spread it around and grow the channel to reach more players to help them improve their game and stand out on the pitch. I will put 2 other videos up on the screen now so you can continue to learn, continue to improve, and continue to hopefully stand out in your matches. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.